Good morning. It is Friday, the 10th of September. So, how is everybody today? Are you well? How has your week been? Are you keeping out of mischief this week in this very strange? Good morning, Anne. Nice to see you. It's been very strange, hasn't it? The weather this week, and it's gone from like cripplingly hot. I think I got in the car on Tuesday and it was 31 degrees, which was just phenomenal. And to today is much nice, but it's still muggy. It's strange, isn't it? So welcome. If you are watching on catch up, firstly, please pop replay in the comments so I get to see if you've joined me and access the information that I'm sharing as I do every Friday morning at 8 o'clock. Morning, Em, nice to see you. And morning, Claire from sunny Cyprus. Gosh, I'm envious. Yes, those beach photographs were beautiful. So, morning, Janet, nice to see you as well. The gang's all here. So, decided to do something different for today's live because I was networking at my regular Athena network on Tuesday, and our regional leader Vicky decided to do something different because we were all, of course, on Zoom, very safe. And what she got us to do is she took it in turns around the room and everybody put in the chat box the questions that they'd always wanted to ask each other, but maybe weren't happy or a little afraid or a little bit British and conservative about asking. So I thought, what a great idea. I really loved that. And when I'm here on a Friday, I'm here for you to access my expertise and my knowledge. But honestly, rarely does anybody ask me a question. So I've printed off the questions. Excuse me. And we'll go through. I said I didn't even have time to make a coffee this morning, Claire. I'm no good this morning without my coffee. Oh, Mr. Curitan has promised. So if you hear any noise, it's the kettle. So I got asked a boatload of questions. Now, I'm not going to cover them all today. But what the very first one off the top is, how do you measure success with clients if their social media isn't giving them any business? And that's a really big question, because the truth is, it all comes back to the plan. Everything comes back to the plan and getting the fundamentals right. So being really clear, firstly, are you on the right platform? Is that client on the right platform? I was with a client the other day and I've got no idea why he's on Instagram, because of who his perfect customer is. For Emma and Claire, definitely perfect customer, 100% Instagram, Facebook, without a shadow of a doubt. So the first thing is, if we're going to measure success, firstly, we need to identify who is their perfect client avatar. There may be several. Second thing is, let's look at the analytics, because numbers don't lie. And I've been doing some Facebook and Instagram organic reach training this week to share with my valued clients. And it's been really fascinating about the different types of content that works best. Really, really interesting stuff. But this Facebook influencer, she said exactly the same thing. Go back to your analytics, have a look at what's worked. Don't be frightened to mix it up. Don't be frightened to try something different. But guess what the number one performer was on Instagram and Facebook for content? Lives. 100% of the time, lives perform best. Morning, Anne. Nice to see you. So lives perform best on Facebook and Instagram. And I will soon be restarting my Instagram lives, probably going live on a Monday. So measuring success is all about the question I would put back to any of you. If we were sitting together doing one of my 2-hour social media planning sessions, the first thing I would be saying to you is, how are you going to measure your result of your social media activity? Is it going to be the number of people engaging? is it going to be reach? Is it going to be click-throughs to your website? What is your measurement of success? For some people, it's just having lots of numbers. I'm not obsessed by numbers. I used to be, but not anymore. Because for me, I'd rather have, say, 400 connections on LinkedIn rather than the, I think, 3,000 I've got now, because I've sort of got hold of myself and I'm really picky about who I connect with. And I've got some measurements about who I want to connect with on LinkedIn. The same about businesses that I follow from Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And that is absolutely all about the quality rather than the quantity. So measuring success is firstly about throwing it back to you, which is, what is your benchmark? How are you measuring your success? Are you even measuring success? Do you look at your Google Analytics at least quarterly to see what's working? Where's your traffic coming from? How long are they staying on your website? Absolutely essential. I'm not a Google Analytics trader, but I understand the basics enough to work through it. So thinking about that. So measurement of success is really about, what's the quality of the content like? Are people engaging with the content? Is there a call to action? But not too many, because sometimes you have to do it in a different way. So the marketing professionals will tell us there are 2 different specific marketing ways in which you can create content. One is the AIDA model, which is the one I have on my planner, which is attract, interest, desire, action. AIDA. That's the AIDA model. And the other model is the PAS model, PAS. Problem, agitate, solution. Are you creating content with either of these models? Now, really interesting, ladies, and it is all ladies joining me live, so I can say that. I've been trying some artificial intelligence, and it is phenomenally interesting. If anybody wants me to show them how I use it, then just get in touch and I'll show you, because it's a really cost-effective way to have content written that performs. And I'm using it for email marketing. I'm looking at it for social media coverage. I'm looking at it for blogs. Potentially, I've posted it actually, I think, in the group and in Social Media for Grown-ups. If you just search in the group for AI or Jarvis, you'll find I've done a video about it. And it was astonishing. I was with a client yesterday and his barrier is about creating content. And I said, what about if we got something to create content for you? He said, well, isn't that costly? Well, I'm paying about £20 a month for these credits, and I've not used them all. I'm not using all the credits. So you can get I'll put the referral link on my pages this morning, and you can get a 7-day trial. You have to put your bank details in and stuff, but you get, I think it's 10,000 credits to trial it, to play around with it. So that's one thing, is when you are talking about measurement of success, is your content aligned to it? Is it interesting and relevant for your audience? Is it not too salesy? Are the images that you're using varied, making it really interesting for your audience? Because remember, if you are posting everything on brand on your page, which I love on brand. However, it can sometimes make your news feed look a bit samey. So sometimes it's good just to mix it up, and I quite like to mix it up like that. So that's a really good tip. So measurement of success really comes back to you, is what is your measurement of success? Your return on investment of time, or paying somebody like me to train you. Which brings me on to the next question, which was, who is my ideal client? And I work with lots of people, mostly business people over 40. And I would say 85% of my clients are women over 40 that run their own business. Really interesting. So somebody else has asked a question here. I'm on to question 3 now. I'm not going to get them all today, so I might keep some for next week because I think it's quite an interesting thing. When you do someone's social media for them, what does that mean? Wow, that's a huge question, because there are some fantastic virtual administrators who will do social media. And by that, what I mean is they are putting posts out there consistently and regularly for you to give you a presence. That is just scheduling the content to go out regularly. And if you are on a tight budget, that is a really cost-effective way to get it. However, there is little or no account growth with that. There's probably no engagement built in. So if somebody comments on a post, it probably has to still come back to you to answer that question, unless you're paying them more. So the way I tend to package up my social media management services, and I've got a bunch of lovely associates now who do that for me. We've got the entry-level package, which is really cost-effective, where we post for them regularly, every day of the week, unless requested otherwise, if people are on a really tight budget. And we'll create imagery to go with it, but the client provides the content or some sort of bullets for the briefing, some themes, whatever. Then you've got the next level of service, which is where we create the content. So we write the content, and that content is written having had a strategy and planning session with the client. This allows us to spend an hour a week growing that account, looking for new accounts to follow, connect with, engage with on their posts from the client's preferred list of target clients. So that's the middle level. And then the top level, which tends to be for larger organizations, is where we almost become like another member of their team. We go in for monthly meetings and all of that, and more business development and more account growth. Because ladies, it's not enough just to post regularly. You have to put a little bit of legwork in. I would suggest that probably if you set it all up once a week, plan all your posts out once a week, get your images to go. I like to plan 10 days ahead because it means I'm always ahead of the game. If I do it on a Monday morning, I'm always ahead of the game because I've planned for 10 days ahead. And that's a really simple tip, but it works for yours truly. Then I spend time doing a little bit of time being present. So first thing in the morning, and I'm playing with a new app, and you'll be really interested in this. What's it called? It's called Reflector. It's an app, really interesting stuff, and it will allow me to mirror my phone. There is another app called App Power that I've tried and I didn't really like it. But first thing in the morning, I go onto my Instagram on my phone and I check through to see what's happened overnight, answer any comments, respond to any comments, do a little bit of engagement. It takes me about 10 minutes on Instagram. Then I look at something similar on my Facebook page and LinkedIn and Twitter too. So it's not that. Oh yes, oh that's good. So you like Reflector, that's good. I'm going to have a play with it because I've been asked to deliver an Instagram workshop, and I was going to record part of it, but then I'm going to play with it because I didn't like App Power. So there we go. So that's a little bit about if you decide to outsource your social media, the questions to ask a potential social media manager are around: what does engagement mean to them? What do their prices include? Does it include graphics, content, engagement? And ask them then to define engagement. So how can I help somebody who has no idea where to start with the social media? And that is either working one-to-one on my Nurture package, which is 2.5 hours worth of training, but spread out over 3 sessions. If you haven't got budget to work one-to-one, then my Social Media with Confidence course, which is a month-long course giving small bite-sized chunks of information every day, Monday to Friday for a month. And I run that course a couple of times a year. So those are my questions. The last one that I'll leave you with, which I do really like, and I might come on to this again next week, which is, how long does it take to feel confident with social media? And for you personally, this was asked to me, are you still learning? And the answer is we're all always learning, because we can never afford to stand still. Every business model is like that. We're always learning. In the last month, I've invested in working with an Instagram specialist, a Facebook organic reach specialist, and a LinkedIn authority. So I've invested in my personal development because I make sure I'm not missing anything. And what was really exciting from working with them is that pretty much I took one big thing on LinkedIn, which I'd missed, which was creator mode. So if you're not using creator mode on LinkedIn, have a look at it. If you a part of my community, I've put posts in about LinkedIn creator mode. It's a really interesting change to LinkedIn. But what's really exciting is that the core principles will always remain, ladies. To be successful on social media and to be confident, develop a great plan, portfolio of interesting, engaging content and associated images. Build your audience, spend some time growing your audience, and then have a plan on how you're going to convert them. And that, ladies, are some of my questions that I was asked the other day, and I'm going to do the rest next Friday, because hopefully that's been interesting, helpful, informative. If anyone wants to private message me, I can walk them through Jarvis and show you how the AI can make your life quite easy, because I've got to say I'm a huge fan. So that's me for today. Thank you, Claire, for joining us. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Emma and Anne. Thank you, everybody who's joined us. If you're on catch up, as I say, please feel free to get in touch. If you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer another time, and share it with your network. Please, ladies, share it with your network, because it's all about, for me, every Friday, showing stuff up free of charge for you, giving you some tips and ideas. So I will see you next Friday. And that will be, the 17th of September. So I'll see you then. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.